Yes, sir. Ross.
Here.
Hamilton.
Here.
Taylor. Here. Robinson.
Here.
Harris.
Here.
Insulaco.
Here.
Height.
Present.
So we have a quorum.
If everybody stand, Mr. Barber, would you say the prayer and the pledge for us, please?
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening, and we do come and ask, Lord, for your wisdom and your grace upon this meeting this evening. Lord, we pray that you would just be with the councilmen and councilwomen who make the decisions for this city, Lord, that they might guide us and direct us in the way that we should be going, Lord. We do ask for the safety of our citizens, Lord, our police and fire and electric workers. Lord, and as always, we give you thanks for all you do in our lives. In Jesus' name, all people said, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move. Second.
Motion second.
Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Here. Yes.
Taylor. Yes. Robinson.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Insulaco.
Yes.
Height.
Yes.
We have two communications, sir.
Does anybody like to pull the communications? If not, I'll ask for a motion and second to accept and file.
So moved. Second.
Motion second.
Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Insulaco.
Yes.
Height.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I've got presentations tonight. I think everybody in the audience and watching will enjoy this. So, Anna, you're in the audience, I see. So let's go ahead and put the presentations on back there. If y'all can play for me, please. Here we go. Turn it up just a little, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna Sawyer and I'm the Community Garden Coordinator for the City of North Little Rock. This year we hit the ground running with a huge project. The Garden of Eating is home to two of several Little Free Pantries that our program was able to distribute throughout the city for a National Day of Service in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. We partnered with Engage Arkansas, the St. Joseph Center, and the Arkansas Dream Center to distribute 10 Little Free Pantries. The purpose of these pantries is to offer non-perishable food and hygiene items to communities in a stigma-free way. So this is just another way that we're able to get our community to be able to access food. One of the really exciting things that North Little Rock is doing is our partnership with Hunger Relief Alliance out at our Stone Links Park in North Little Rock.
My name is Brandon Chapman, and I work with the Arkansas Hunger Relief Alliance. I am the Food Sourcing and Logistics Programs Manager. We actually grow produce here, which is watermelons. We have 5 acres of watermelons on this particular property. That everything we grow and harvest gets donated to the Arkansas Food Bank in Little Rock. The Watermelon Crawl is an event we have each year where the public will come out and help us pick and harvest and glean the fields. So for the city, it is allowing them to give back. You know, everything gets grown stays local and will actually help even impact people in the local housing area right behind us as well. So it's just a really good way to kind of help take care of the citizens and make good use of property.
This year, we've really been pushing to offer garden-based education for the public. So in the spring, we went over to 7th Street Elementary and lent a hand during their after-school program. We were able to offer a planting lesson combined with some garden yoga. All students were able to plant a variety of vegetable crops to take home with them to just do a little experiment to see how plants grow. In the summer, we were able to work with the Seis Puentes Summer Camp in collaboration with the North Little Rock Tourism's Hospitality Hour, where we were able to offer similar programming and students were also able to take a plant home with them. The City of North Little Rock has curated a long-standing partnership with the Master Gardener program. and we're really excited to announce that the St. Joseph Center is now home to one of the newest Master Gardener sanctioned sites.
The City of North Little Rock has been hugely supportive of St. Joseph's. We have a number of operations here that they have really helped us with. Our goal is to make this predominantly Arkansas native plants. We're trying to bring nature back into our local neighborhoods. This is just going to be an example of the things that you can grow just in your back garden. We have been fortunate at St. Joseph's to have the AmeriCorps groups, they're called the NCCC team. They are here for 8 weeks this summer, and we've had other groups come at different times. They are actually out here working with us this morning. We've got 7 of them, so we're thrilled about that. They're giving us some great support to clear some of the pathways and beautify this garden.
Our program accepts spring and fall funding applications on June 15th and December 15th annually. These applications are rolling, which means that if you or your community is interested in developing or maintaining a community garden, you can apply at any point throughout the year. They'll just be reviewed after those 2 dates mentioned. We distribute free seeds, plants, compost, mulch, and we also do a variety of workday activities. So if you're in need of irrigation being installed, or raised beds being constructed, or fruits or vegetables or trees being pruned, we're able to assist with that process. If you're interested in keeping up to date with all of our program happenings, feel free to give us a follow at our Instagram listed below. We've got some exciting things in store this fall, so stay tuned.
Way to go, Anna. Anybody got anything for Anna you'd like to? I see her out there, so.
I was just going to say those are some big watermelons.
Believe it or not, that started about, let's say, what was it, Linda, about 6, I was still at Parks then, if you remember.
Community gardens?
Yeah, when we put the watermelons in out there at Stone Lakes. And they had a fit over it, but now they love them, don't they? I mean, they love those watermelons. So anyway, it supplies the food bank. So thank you very much, Anna, for what you do. All right, let's go forward. Please call it, I think it's Mr. Harris, but go ahead. Unfinished business, I'm sorry.
Oh, 2357, Councilmember Harris.
We're going to pull that.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
I move this to consent, sir.
All right, let's go to the consent agenda. If anyone wants to pull any item from the consent agenda, if not, I'm going to ask for a motion on from our, I'm sorry, Miss Debbie Griswold.
So moved.
Need to
Wait a
pull R23-174.
She wants to pull R23-174, and I'll come back. So it's so moved. Hey, anybody else?
Oh, never mind, that's new business.
It's new.
So you want to go ahead, R23-164, all the way through R23-173. You're okay with that, everybody? And I heard, and so what we do here, I'm going to ask for all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Thank you. We'll pass up then, all right? No, because, let's see. Then we're going to go to R23-174. You don't mind, it's new business?
R23-174, Mayor Hardwick.
Please. Robert, you're here, right? Okay, I see. I'm sorry. Thank you. Go ahead.
Confirming the city's intent to issue bonds for the purpose of assisting in financing of facilities that will be useful in securing the developing industry within the city to be leased to FedMet Arkansas LLC or Trickling Creek.
Move for adoption.
174.
Motion adopt, and there is a second. Yes, Ms. Ross. Yes, ma'am.
Now I have an amendment.
There you got it. Yes, I know.
The map that was passed out, there wasn't an address in here or map, so this, just amend in the map with the address.
Did you hear what she said? Did y'all hear what she said? She's amending? Mm-hmm. She wants to amend the map along with the address on R23-174.
I don't, that's not the map we're looking at.
No, it's not. Don't pay attention to that. It's the one in front of you here.
Yeah.
Guys in the
I don't know
back,
what that is.
go ahead and pull that down. You're showing the wrong map, please, for right now. Please. So anyway, we're talking about 1200 Pike, if I'm not mistaken. Is that the right address, Robert?
The old Timex building?
It's the old time, no, it's the old Benny Keith building. Ms. Ross?
We need to amend the address into the legislation, though.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
It'll be on the exhibit,
Okay.
and,
So you okay?
so, there was a motion to amend. Is there a second on the
Second.
motion? Thank you.
All right, there's a motion to amend, there is a second, and that is to include this, if I'm not mistaken, as picture and the address. Is that right? Okay, there's a motion to amend.
Okay, on the amendment, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the motion to amend as resolution?
Well, we
Is
need
it
a
amend-
motion
I was
to,
about to say I need one.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. on
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height? Yes.
that. Thank y'all.
and Mayor, Mr. Birch has said that the, Federal Metals people are here in case anybody has any questions.
Well, do they want to speak?
Yeah, well, I'd like them to come up and give an update kind of where they are, if you don't mind, for just a minute.
I don't mind. Come on up, guys. I saw you the other night, so come on. Hey, guys, how are y'all doing? Welcome.
All doing well.
Thank you.
Just a quick update on how things are going. At this point, we are looking to go up into production fourth quarter. Equipment's arriving, being installed. We've been using Nabholz. It's been one of our primary contractors in Eagle Electric locally for installing our equipment. And we've started hiring at this point. And frankly, that's going pretty well. We've been pleasantly surprised at the quality of people we've been able to get this quickly.
Thank you.
Is there any questions you have for us at this point?
Anybody? Any questions we have? And I need you to identify yourself, please, if you don't mind.
Todd Kidder, Vice
And why don't
President
you
with the
identify
Federal
everybody
Metal
else behind you, if you don't mind, please?
Sure.
Kyle Landrum,
Kyle?
General Manager.
Okay?
Rob Wittenberg, Chief Financial Officer.
And we know the lady behind you, so never mind. So, any questions for our federal metal partners? I know we're very excited to have you over there, guys. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, Robert, great job. Ms. Ross?
I guess one thing for anybody that's watching, if anybody wants to apply for a job, how did they do that and where? Is it
Pretty
in
much
person?
go to the front desk, I would say, at
Okay.
the old Benny Keith building. Stop by. We've got applications. We've, what are we up to now? 15?
Yeah, 15.
Yeah. So, and that'll continue at this point.
Okay. It's
Are you
12.
going to be at the job fair? I think the Chamber's having one. Are y'all going to be there possibly? I think it's like September. Help me, is it like 19th?
No, anything.
The Chamber's having a job fair that day for some of the people who lost their job at Tyson's. Yes, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
is that the right day, Robert?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, just in case you didn't know about it, let you know.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Anybody else?
Front desk, 1200 Pike Avenue.
That's right.
There you go.
I appreciate what
All
you've
right,
done.
thank you.
It's a blessing coming. I appreciate you so very
Very
much.
good. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Glad to be here.
Thank you very much. All right. Let's go.
All right, R 23-175, Mayor Hardwick.
Please, and I'm going to have Ember come up here if there's any questions, if you don't mind.
A resolution amending the 2023 budget for the city of North Little Rock to include additional revenues and expenses for certain budgets, parks.
Let's go ahead and get a motion, and then I'll stop it.
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
All right, Ms. Ember, please.
This is just a budget amendment to finish 2023 for the tennis center since we terminated the management agreement with ATA and we're taking over that for the rest of the year. So this is just an estimate of revenues and expenses for the remainder of the year, and it's a balanced budget adjustment.
Anybody else? Okay, there's a motion, and I think there was a
A
second.
motion and a second. Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris? Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Thank y'all.
R 23-176, Mayor Hardwick.
Well, let's do this. Let's go R 23-176 all the way through 23-182.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to convene a public hearing for those, if you don't mind. And they're going to be on the camera. There's going to be on the screen showing what we're talking about. So
If you would call all the
I'm about to,
addresses.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was about to say. If you would just
Okay,
go ahead and
thank you.
call the addresses for me as we go through them.
R 23-176, 1602 West 16th Street. R 23-177, 616 West 23rd Street. R 23-178, 819 North 8th Street. R 23-179, 1217 West 19th Street. R 23-180, 1405 North Vine Street. R 23-181, 2000 Moss Street. R23182, 424 West 23rd Street.
I'm going to let, just for a second, so they can slide through these pictures up for just a second, if you don't mind. At this time, I'm going to convene a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against these properties, please come to the microphone. If you don't mind, anybody wishing to speak for or against. Seeing none, I'll adjourn this public hearing, or, if you don't mind,
R23176, Mayor Hartwick.
please.
Declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 1602 West 16th Street to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a certain period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
R23177, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
Declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 616 West 23rd Street to constitute public nuisance and condemning said structures and providing a period of time for owner to abate said nuisance.
Move for adoption. Second.
Motion second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson? Yes. Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
R23178, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
Declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 819 North 8th Street to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R23179, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
Declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 1217 West 19th Street to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owners to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
R23180, Mayor Hartwick.
Yes, please.
A resolution declaring certain building, houses, and other structures located at 1405 North Vine Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Ross?
No, if Felicia, I just want to make sure, I
We're
know
about
that
to.
there's several properties there.
Yeah.
On that, I just want to make,
Felicia, can you come forward, please, ma'am?
is this the one that was burnt in the back of the property? Because there's never any house numbers on any of those down there, so.
Did you hear the question, Felicia, Ms. Ingram? Go ahead.
Is this the one that's in the back that's burnt? Because I know there's,
Yes,
you can't
yes.
see, okay, it's the one, okay.
Any more questions? We have a motion and a second then.
Right. Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R23181, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 2000 Moss Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures.
Move for adoption.
Let him finish reading it, please.
Providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So moved.
Second.
Ross?
Motion and a second.
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R23182, Mayor Hartwick.
Yes, please.
Resolution declaring certain building, houses, and other structures located at 424 West 23rd Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
R23183, Mayor Hartwick?
That, then I'll call a public hearing after you read it, okay?
Yes, sir. I'll go ahead and read it. A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against property located at 615 West 33rd Street in the city of North Little Rock.
Move for adoption.
Second.
There's a motion adopted. This time, I'm going to call another public hearing. I'm going to convene it. Those wishing to speak for or against this is 615 West 33rd. Please come to the microphone. Seeing none, I'll convene this public hearing. I have a motion and a second.
Right. Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
R 23-184, Mayor Harwick.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 1903 Augusta Street in the city of North Little Rock.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Hang on just a second. At this point, I'll convene a public hearing for this on R 23-184. That's 1903 Augusta Street. Those wishing to speak for or against it, please come forward. Seeing none, I'll adjourn the public hearing. Please call it.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
O 23-60, Councilmember Taylor.
Please call it.
Yes, sir. An ordinance rezoning certain real property located at 100 Campbell Road in the city of North Little Rock from R2 and I2 to I2 zoning classification by amending ordinance number 9263.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
By the way, we did have a public comment on that, but it would be done at the end of the council meeting. I just want to let you know we didn't forget you, but we done it on public comment sign-in, okay? So, all right.
Wait,
You want to do it now?
now, if they've signed up to speak on a numbered item,
Yeah.
then they have to speak either before the.
Let's do it then. I have Miss Brian Dale. It's supposed to be talking about O 2360.
Okay, he's the applicant.
I know it.
but-
That's why I did,
Okay,
but go ahead.
If we could just procedurally, there's been a motion and a second to suspend the readings, and then if we can get it on the floor first.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Brian Dale with
Hang
Joe
on a
White.
second, though. We're going to suspend it. Go ahead. Go ahead and identify yourself, please, one more time, if you don't mind.
Brian
And then
Dale
we're
with-
going to suspend the rules and put it on
Okay.
read for us. We'll let
Okay.
you know where we are, okay?
Brian Dale with Joe White and Associates. Just some confusion. Are here to answer any questions.
I understand, I appreciate it. That's why I was hanging off. So right now, we have an ordinance, and we're asked to suspend the rules.
Has there been a motion and a second on that? Okay.
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
To suspend the reading.
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes. So moved.
Second.
Okay, and then the applicant's here, and I don't know if there are any other people that have signed up to speak on this.
It's
or not.
just this one.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying, I knew who he
Okay.
was. Go ahead. I think you're fine. Do you want to say anything? I think you're fine. So,
Okay. All right.
go.
Ross?
So no one signed up to speak
No,
beforehand?
nobody else said anything?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
O 2361, Councilmember Taylor.
Please call it.
An ordinance granting a conditional use to allow a glass recycling facility in an I2 zone for certain real property located at 100 Campbell Road in the city of North Little Rock.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
Second.
We'll suspend a second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
He's not here.
I'm sorry. Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes. So moved. Second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And on the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
While you're here, I want to say, I can't say enough about we went for OC last week, what you've done for the community. All the questions have been answered. You've been in front of this council, I know at least twice. We applaud all the times you took to answer every question. Robert, same thing to you. So I was at most of those meetings, so, and I know Maurice, Mr. Taylor, and Ms. Robinson was there, so hats off. We're very proud to have you with, and even the setbacks you're doing out there on Campbell Road, and everybody's had questions, and very proud to have you. Yeah, I think we all applaud what you're trying to do, okay? Thank you very much. Go ahead.
O 2362, Councilmember Hamilton.
Please call it.
Granted special use to allow a type 2 short-term rental in an R2 zone property located at 305 West Avenue.
I have two people on this, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. So where are we right now? I was reading, I apologize. I know, I see you there, I saw you there.
Is somebody gonna move to suspend the
We gotta make
readings?
some motion though
Move to
first.
suspend the readings?
Motion suspend.
Second.
Okay, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Stephen, you want to come on up if you want to, in case there's any questions for you, or I think you're fine, but
Move to approve?
motion. Let's see.
Adopt.
Adopt?
Motion adopt. Is there a second? Is-
Second.
All right, there's a motion to adopt and there's a second. Now, I mean, does anybody have any questions? We want to identify him? Is that, he's wanted to speak, but I think you're in good shape, but it's up to you.
Yeah, we're here to answer any questions. We are totally prepared if y'all have any questions or need anything from us at all. I'm Stephen Smith, my wife Josie.
Josie or Jocelyn?
Josie.
I go by Joe.
Okay, got you, Josie. Any questions for him? If not,
Motion is second. Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
thank you, thank you. Thank y'all very much.
O-2363, Councilmember Robinson.
Please call it.
Granting a special use to allow the placement of 2 temporary classrooms for 2 years in an R5 zone for property located at 12,506 Highway 165.
Move to
And-
suspend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was the one interrupting this time. I don't see it on the agenda, but both of these were marked, these next two to be for a public hearing and published to be for a public hearing.
On which ones, Miss?
On this one and the next one.
I don't have it on here, so it's supposed to be marked.
That's okay. I'm sorry that I interrupted.
Oh, that's fine.
That-
So
that
where
was,
are we? Do we need a public hearing on this?
Yeah, but Ms. Robinson was trying to make a motion to suspend the readings, and I interrupted her, and I apologize.
Second.
Motion suspended and seconded.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
So with the council's approval, I'll go ahead and open this up, adjourn this and open it up to a public hearing.
Can we get a motion in a second to get it adopted, and then we'll
Move
open
to
the public-
adopt?
Thank you.
Second.
Motion adopted and
Now
second.
open.
Now I'm going to go, I'll open this up to a public hearing for those wishing to speak for or against O-2363. Please come forward. Seeing none, I'll adjourn this public hearing.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
O-2364, Mayor Hartwick.
Yes, and I do have several people who want to speak on this behalf, so let's go ahead and get to the point where we'll, and this is for consideration only. I think it's
Right.
up there, so.
Okay,
If
and
you
if
get-
we can first, if you all want to suspend the readings on this and then get it on the floor with a motion to adopt before we open the public
Move suspend the
hearing.
readings.
Second.
There's a motion to suspend.
Okay. Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
So with
A
that,
motion to adopt?
I just want a motion to adopt, and I'm going to hold it for just a second, and then we'll,
Move to
because I've
adopt.
got
Second.
motion to adopt in a second.
Amy, I don't think we read this.
Yeah, I still need to
Oh,
read it.
gosh.
We got to read it.
We got ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Slow down, everybody. Please.
An ordinance granting a special use to allow a type 2 short-term rental in a planned unit development zone for certain real property located at 605 Orange Street in the city of North Little Rock.
Move suspend the readings.
We voted on
Second.
that. Okay. Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
So with this, I have several people here who would like to speak on this. And I don't know what order they came in, so accept my apology. So we're going to
Okay,
bring them up
that's-
now?
Bring them up now, but let's, can we get a motion?
Move to adopt?
Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa.
I didn't think-
Point of order. I thought we've already done all that.
It was.
Oh, so we,
It didn't count?
It was my
It was
fault.
a do-over.
Yeah,
It was a do-over.
so right
Okay, yeah,
now,
I'm getting confused.
I know.
Yeah,
too many people talking.
We're gonna let the people speak before we,
I
So
know.
moved.
We need to let these people speak.
before we
Motion to
vote
adopt.
There's a motion to adopt. Let's
We
hold,
just
let me
get
bring
it
them
on
up
the floor.
now.
Second.
And then
This is
convene,
just get it on the
convene
floor.
a public
We're
hearing.
not voting.
There's not a public hearing on this. It was again,
This was
one
one
does
of the
again,
ones
so let's
that-
go ahead and bring them up now
Right,
then,
it's
right?
been published.
It's
and-
not on my calendar, so I accept my
It's
apology.
not, but it should have.
Okay, I got you. So on this right now, I'm going to open it for a public hearing, and
Thank
what I'm going to ask, come in, I don't know who was first or second, okay? So let me do this. I'm going to open up for a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against it, then I'm going, when you come up, give me your name so I can start wiping them off, okay? Here's a public hearing. I'll open it up for people who would like to speak for or against, and we're talking about 02364, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and your name, please, sir?
John Flaster, 301 West 7th Street.
I got you, John, on here.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead. Yes, sir.
And we have a lot of folks here, so they're all standing up, I think, right now from Argenta here to speak against it, so.
Oh, okay, let's do this, if you don't mind. What John is going to say, how many of y'all are agreeing with it? May I ask, is everybody stand up and show your hands? You're against, if you don't mind? Huh? Okay, so we'll hold off. If then I'll get you to it, okay? So let's just do this. When you speak, if they're for it, I'm going to have you come up and give your name, and then we'll go what he said. Is that fair enough with y'all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Okay. I'm here to speak against 023-64, special use to allow a type 2 short-term rental at 605 Orange. Numerous studies conclude that STRs reduce the affordable housing supply and contribute to the housing crisis. Argenta came back from its depressed state in the early 90s because of home ownership. Homeowners that were either already here and wanted better, or folks that bought homes here and worked hard improving their homes and the neighborhood. Anything other than home ownership takes away from neighborhood cohesiveness. We have to set a limit, and I believe the number we have now is more than enough. We're a very small area, around 200 one and two family homes. I'm sure because of the location, it's a highly sought-out area. But again, we have around 200 residential units and currently have 12 or more short-term rentals. I believe that's more than enough. Planning also voted to deny it, so I believe we need to follow their lead. Thank you.
Let me go ahead and do this. Charlie Hart, are you here? Do you want to add anything to what Mr. Flaster said? All right, got you. And then I'm going to go George Collins. Is that it, Mr. Collins? Anything different? Are you okay? All right, and then I'm going to go over here to Don Chambers.
Don Chambers, 217 West 5th Street. I'm a planning commissioner, and you will rarely see me here taking a second bite out of the apple. I had my say at Planning Commission, but this is my neighborhood, so this is my second bite because it's my neighborhood. Imagine for a moment that most of my neighborhood was short-term rental. If we had a national night out, we wouldn't have very many people attending because short-term rentals don't contribute to the social fabric of the neighborhood. If we called a special booster meeting because of thefts in the neighborhood, I doubt we'd have very many attending because short-term rentals don't add to the cohesiveness of our neighborhood. The applicant asked for, doesn't know which unit he wants to be a short-term rental. At the Planning Commission, I asked him to pick one. I support him having the loft unit in his house as the short-term rental unit, just like the south half of his duplex PUD. That motion didn't pass at Planning Commission because of abstentions. But that's what we support, is a compromise would be if he grant a short-term rental, please specify which unit is the short-term rental, not either or, I don't know, or whatever. We support the loft as the short-term rental unit in this application if you're going to grant the short-term rental. Thank you.
Becky? Ms. Ragsdale? I see you.
I'm Becky Ragsdale of 216 West 6th Street. We've been there for 17 years and have lived behind a short-term rental for 17 years, and we've witnessed every kind of crime imaginable and an attempted murder. Okay, so we're opposed. I am willing to compromise if he wants one unit, but not both units, because then you've got a fourplex essentially with 3 rental units in it. And now there is a rumor that Argenta Square has sold, and they are going to be setting up Airbnbs in the apartments. I can't get this verified because I went to their office, it's closed, their Facebook page is shut down, and their phone number is disconnected. So I can't verify, so it's only a rumor. And that's what we've been afraid of, is that if you start giving more and more of these, then the apartments are gonna get in the business, and then we're gonna be surrounded by hotels. And so that's, I mean, I'm willing to compromise, but I don't wanna see my whole neighborhood. And like John so eloquently put, that we fought our way back. We bought into the neighborhood after the fight, and the Argenta Community Development Corporation brought this back. We don't need to go back. And that's what I'm afraid of, or driving up housing cost where middle America cannot buy a home. And that's what Airbnbs in Arizona and Maui have been witness to that, and it's been devastating to them. So please consider that. Thank you.
Thank you. Did I miss anybody? Yes, sir. Come on. I don't see your name on here, I don't think.
It's the
Patrick
applicant.
Stair.
Huh?
Patrick Stair.
All right, go ahead, Patrick.
My name is Patrick Stair, and I live at 411 West 5th Street. I'm opposed to O-2364, an application to allow Type 2 non-owner occupied short-term rentals at 605 Orange Street. As I've stated more than once in this room, I have no problem with Type 1 owner-occupied STRs, because with Type 1s, the owner lives in the building and is a neighbor. But the application being considered here is fraught with danger. If given approval for the arrangement of having both long-term and short-term rentals allowed for both units, it'd be far too easy to slide into a condition where the owner did not live there. In addition, it'd be far too easy for this arrangement to morph into a condition with 2 short-term rental units operating simultaneously. The City of North Little Rock does not have a compliance mechanism in place that can provide sufficient assurance that these scenarios will not happen. In their cover letter, the applicants speak of long-term benefits to the community. I'm unimpressed by statements of any long-term benefit provided to a residential neighborhood by a non-owner occupied STR. I am, however, acutely aware of the long-term detriments to neighborhoods that have been described by many. These frequently include negative effects on the stock of affordable housing, leading to difficulties for workers obtaining housing. I have heard officials from Eureka Springs describe the effects of STRs on housing supplies in their city, as regular rental and housing units have been converted to STRs, forcing local workers to move farther and farther from their jobs and even going to neighboring towns. This effect has been described in numerous places. Airbnb and VRBO like to say that STRs contribute to vacation rental opportunities and thus contribute to increased tourism, but academic research frequently finds that STRs merely substitute for standard hotel rentals. Airbnb and VRBO and others like to say that STRs contribute money to the local economy, but on closer inspection, we can see that STRs take money away from providers of local services and products and funnel it to the property owners.
Thank you.
This is not surprising. I would ask, how many vacationers at an STR are going to use the services of a local veterinary clinic, car dealership, or hardware store? How many churches, community theaters, or food pantries will be supported by STR renters? Communities around the world have been hollowed out by the replacement of neighbors with short-term renters. I do not want to see this happen in my neighborhood. Please reject this application.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? I don't have anybody else's name on here, so if not, I'm going to adjourn this public hearing right now. Courtesy.
The applicant, this is the
Huh?
this is the applicant.
Well, I said, is there anybody else wanting to speak for or against? All right, come on up. Your name, please.
Hi, I'm Stacy Pendergrass.
Okay.
Paul Griff.
Thank you.
I'll start. I would just like to say I am appealing to this council to represent all of the neighbors, those who would like to do short-term rentals as a small business and not a constant in and out thing would like you to consider other opinions. And I would also like to say that we moved in here 3 years ago. We are very good neighbors. A couple of months after we moved in, there was someone held up at gunpoint right in front of our house. It was not a short-term renter, and we were not short-term renting at that point. So there is a lot of fear generated on the basis of this. Those homes that you put up there that you say are a nuisance and you have to do something about, that is not going to be our house. Our house we're going to take care of. We're going to form relationships with our neighbor, with our people that we host, and we hope that they come back a lot. I have another letter that was submitted by Mark and Paula Cordillo, and they have bought a house, an abandoned house, that looks like it might need to be demolished, and they became aware of Argenta by coming into an Airbnb. And so they've invested in the community, and they want to continue to the health of the community. I'm going to go ahead and read. It was a long letter.
That's fine, yes. Fine.
Short-term rentals provide a different experience for travelers, especially the next generation of travelers who prefer this option to hotels. We also believe short-term renters reduce the amount of wear and tear. Knowing that they are staying in a person's home, vacationers typically treat properties with a different degree of respect that long-term renters might not. Also, any problems that might occur with a tenant could be quickly remedied, something that would be more difficult with a long-term renter. There's more to it, but she talks about how she was charmed by Argenta and bought in the area for that reason.
So the only thing, just one thing that confuses me a little bit, I hear a lot of people saying it's going to degrade the values of the property in the neighborhood, but then I hear it does away with inventory, so that drives properties up. So I don't understand why people say there's a negative impact on real estate prices when it has a positive impact on the prices going up. So, plus, we're not going to rent our house out at a cheap amount either. It's going to be a nice place. If anybody knows who it is, we paid premium dollar for it, thinking we were going to be able to do what we wanted to do with it because it was planned unit development. So we want to be good neighbors. Hopefully you guys will vote for us to be able to pull this off.
Well, thank you, Stacy. Anybody else? Am I missing anybody? Any questions? Okay, thank y'all very much. Where are we?
We have a nomination in a second.
I have one question.
All right, Mr. Harris.
There was some talk about renting just one or both or something. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, we're looking for one short-term rental. We don't want to be dictated to with what unit we have to do. I mean, we've got parking on site on the downstairs level. That makes more sense in our head to be able to do that as a short-term rental if we wanted to, because we have to require parking off-street, which means they have to park in the parking lot of that unit. So they're talking about a loft unit, which is around the corner up the stairs, which actually we've had a tenant that's been in there since before we bought it. It's a long-term rental. She's a great tenant. We don't want to bump her out. We want to have the ability to be able to put short-term rental where we would like to on our property.
Okay. Ms. Ross?
So where on your property do you want to put it? Which unit?
Well, we're thinking we're going to do it downstairs. If possibly we could flip, though, if our tenant moves out and do long-term rental downstairs, short-term upstairs, or maybe we want to live upstairs and come down and rent the bottom area.
So you can't give us a definite unit?
We want to, well, our house, and the city attorney could answer that for you, it's one unit, the whole house.
It's
Only one address.
It's one address, but there are two separate dwellings within the address.
Correct, but if I understand, owner-occupied rentals,
You
you can rent out a bedroom, right?
You've not applied for an
I
owner-occupied
understand that.
rental.
I understand that.
Mr. Hutton?
Would they qualify for an owner-occupied?
There is confusion on that issue. Ms. Councilmember Ross and I spoke. I believe that I'm not sure whether it's a duplex or a four-unit. It's dwelling, and so without that being the application that is on the table, I couldn't speak to that because it has not been presented to either the Planning Commission or to me in order to be able to gather the facts on that.
If they fail here tonight could they reapply as an owner occupied without delay?
That's what I was about to ask. Do y'all understand what's about to happen? And you're- Okay, go ahead.
Yes, if you want us to specify, we'll specify. Downstairs would be the short-term rental.
And we're happy to specify that.
Well, I think some people said, but I think, let me do this.
Here, Mr. Mayor, the problem we've got, though, is if you want to say the upstairs, how do I tell somebody upstairs, when somebody's downstairs, that the upstairs has to park in that driveway that belongs to the downstairs space? Because according to the regs, we have to have off-street parking.
Let me, John, where are you again? Right? And Don, come here for just a sec, please. I think one lady, and I'm going to let y'all step back for just a sec. Don, John, step in there. So they're saying they're willing to adapt. I guess y'all are still in the same stance you were before. I'm asking. I don't know, but I'll kind of get a clarification because I know one lady said that she doesn't, where is she? I can't see her from here. Says she's willing to adapt, but you didn't know which one they were trying to do. Is that correct? Did I understand that correctly? Okay. Don?
As long
Yes,
as they
John?
pick one, we prefer the loft, but if they pick one, as opposed to, well, we just don't know where it's going to go. Not knowing which one is unenforceable. So that allows 2 short-term rentals in that building. And they
Stay there.
want one.
Hang on just a second. I got Nathan first. I'm coming to you if you don't mind, Mr. Taylor. Nathan? Mr. Hamilton?
Mr. Chambers, Mr. Flasper, first of all, thanks for coming tonight. I really do appreciate it. How much is too much? Y'all said y'all are, you're not for total bans, but what percentage of your neighborhood as short-term rentals would be too much and what's enough?
You want that one or me?
Well, I'd like both your opinions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my opinion is that the ordinance says 1% of the total number of dwelling units in North Little Rock in the last census. There are approximately 200 or 300 dwelling units in the historic residential part of Argenta, not including the downtown commercial area. But the historic residential part has 200 to 300 units. That would allow, by the ordinance, if you're going to apply that, 2 or 3 short-term rentals. We're saying 9 to 12 in that area is plenty for us, okay? And which is well above what, we think we're doing our part for the city, okay?
Mr. Taylor? Oh, hang on, John. I'm sorry. Keep on going. Go ahead, John. Come on.
Yeah, pretty much what Don said. I mean, at some point, we have to say enough's enough. I know from my house and Charlie's house, we could throw a rock and hit 3 short-term rentals right now. This one goes in, we could throw a rock and hit 4 short-term rentals from our house. So I'm just looking for, basically drawing a line in the sand saying we don't need any more. That's where I'm at.
And Mr. Taylor,
I'm
if
sorry.
you don't mind. Mr. Taylor?
I guess my confusion is coming in at, you guys keep saying you prefer the loft unit. Why? I mean,
It is the least disturbing to the neighborhood. As far as I believe the neighbors are concerned, just pick a unit. If they choose the downstairs, that's fine. The upstairs can be long-term. But just pick one. As presented to Planning Commission, it was like, well, we don't know which one we want. And having served on the Planning Commission as long as I have, that's unenforceable. So many things we do are unenforceable because we rely on the neighbors to enforce it. And that would mean the neighbors have to monitor them continuously to be sure that both units aren't used for short-term rental.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yes, you can.
We'll pick the bottom unit, we'll do that, 1 unit. The other thing, I think the 1% is the whole city of North Little Rock, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? So it's not just Argenta.
Let's do this. Now, if we go forward this night, Paul, if it goes against you, you can't come back for a while. So my question is, do you want to sit down with these neighbors and come back with a definite which one it is?
Downstairs, that's what we want to do.
I'm not going to do that
I'm
right.
just telling you, we've got to comply with the ordinance that says I've got to supply parking spaces off-street. The only way to do that where it works is the downstairs unit has to be the short-term rental.
Let me ask you this, Ms. Fields, if you might. So in this, if this council goes forward with this, do we need to amend it to say?
I think that, that an amendment could be made to say, on this section 2, number 3, only the ground floor unit on the property may be utilized as a short-term rental. I think that if they vote for that amendment, then the council could vote yes or no to approve the STR as amended.
Ms. Ross?
Does each unit have a separate address?
No,
There's no separate address.
no.
I'm listening. I'm fixing to come at you back there. I see you stand up. Give me just a sec, okay? So again, there's no separate address? That's what I'm hearing? I'm
How do
listening.
people get their mail that live there, the long-term renters?
The postman knows that somebody lives there, but we've tried to pull it, tried to show the other address, and you don't even show the address there. It's one address.
Come on up. Let's get this, Ms. Whitby.
So in the letter, on the first paragraph, it references 605.
Okay. All right. Identify again, please, if you don't mind.
Charlie Hart.
Yeah, Charlie.
I live at 623, right across the alley from Paul. I'm opposed to the downstairs being a short-term rental because all that does is take away from the residents that are in the neighborhood. It's the people who live there will be travelers. They won't have any skin in the game. They won't do anything with the neighborhood that needs to be done, is rolling out the trash, protecting it, mowing the yard, keeping the street clean, those type of things. So since we're talking about now they've made him pick one, I'm opposed to the downstairs being a short-term rental.
So,
Hang on, Mr. Taylor. Are y'all back there, y'all kind of saying the same thing back there, guys?
Yes, but I'd like to say something.
All right, then I'm going, let me hold this up. Let me come to Mr. Taylor first, okay, please?
Okay.
Mr. Taylor?
so, if the downstairs or the upstairs is short-term, that is confusing me. Why the opposition, why the opposition of the downstairs being short-term versus the upstairs?
The upstairs is a one-bedroom apartment. One person lives there. They park on the street. The downstairs is a family residence that has at least 2, if not 3 bedrooms, and allows 3 people to park, 3 cars to park there, if not 4, according to y'all's ordinance. They have a 1-car garage and a driveway behind it where all 3 will park in a row, one behind the other.
Okay.
Until they park on the street.
Okay. You want to speak, sir, please? Identify yourself again, and then I'll come back to you, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
about the thing about 1% in the whole
I
city.
gotta have you say your name, please, again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Bob Ragsdale, 216 West 6th Street. And about the 1% in the whole city, well, just think about it, if it's your neighborhood and everybody moves into your neighborhood, you talk about making short-term rentals around your place. It's our neighborhood, and I just wish that you would consider that. And I'm like, I think 1 unit, if he specifies, we're fine with that, but there should be a limit on how many are allowed in our neighborhood.
All right, you wanted to speak, but let me have Mr. Hamilton, then I'll come back to you, okay, sir? Mr. Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton.
I withdraw.
He's with you, all right. Yes, sir, come on up.
Thank you. George Collins, 218 West 6th Street. I'm opposed to the downstairs unit, love our neighbors, but if I read the ordinance correctly, which I'm still trying to completely digest, there could be 6 or 8 people in that downstairs unit, and we have 5 grandkids. We walk the neighborhood. We do a lot of stuff, and I'm real concerned about that density when there's already in that 140 by or 50 by 140 short-term rental, and there's like 10 or 12 in our neighborhood now. Thank you.
You want something, Ms. Stacy?
I would just like to say, we paid somewhere around $340,000 for this planned unit development that we understood would have these capabilities for us. So I feel like this is not a very welcoming neighborhood to come out like this against us. We're not doing anything. We're going to keep very close watch on our investment. That's all I'd like to say.
Anybody? Mr. Taylor?
So, Sean, if if it was developed as a planned unit development, what did we say that it was gonna be or not gonna be as a PUD?
No, he's
Yeah.
talking, Sean, did you hear that?
I don't have the ordinance right in front of me, but it was for 2 units. So it was 2 units on one property, then they came in afterwards and divided it into 2 lots.
So the 2 units on the one property, that's the PUD?
Of the big picture, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they bought the north half, right? Yeah, the north half, and somehow subdivided the land into 2 lots. And so now the north half, which is what they're looking at, has 2 units in it.
So in other words, the fact that we're having a discussion about it being the STR has nothing to do with the planned unit development?
Not really. It's just it's a zone category, so it could say, you could put R1 or R2 and fill in the blank there. So the PUD doesn't really have anything to do with it.
It's kind of what I thought. Thank you.
All right, I want to make sure everybody understands. I did this for consideration only. If we go forward with it, no matter what happens, you know you're going to have to live with, everybody out there is going to live with what's going on. Y'all understand that tonight? Now, my question to all of y'all is, do you want to sit down with each other over coffee and see if there's a plan or something we can compromise, or do you want us to go forward? That's the question I ask everybody.
I would like to go forward, because my understanding from the last meeting was that Don had mentioned that he would do it if we did the upstairs unit. Now I'm hearing it's okay if we just pick one. So I want to take him up on what he just said now. We'll pick one. We want to pick downstairs.
Well, I can't do that right here.
I understand that.
I'm just letting you know, I'd like to, if you want to, hang on. If you want to, I'm willing to sit there, this is mine, to sit there and call it, or let y'all talk about it. I can hold it for another 2 weeks. So y'all better let me know something, please.
Well, here's the thing, Mayor. We spent $800 the first time around, $800 again to come back to you guys. I mean, it's costing us a fortune to just apply.
It's not
That's
going to
not
cost you
fair.
any more to put it, for me to hold it.
Well,
I can hold it, but I want to make sure.
I was told I probably didn't have to pay last time either, and had to go
I
back
don't
to
know
the
who
post
told
office.
you that.
I understand.
Okay.
I'd rather get it over with
All right.
and figure out, we want to do one unit. We'd like to do it downstairs because we've got parking downstairs, which we have to keep up with those ordinances to make sure we're following the law, and those people have to be able to park off-street.
I can just say that 2 things. One is we will never short-term lease to 6 people at once. That's ridiculous, 1 or 2. And the other thing is, if you do not consider our interests after what we spent to buy into the neighborhood, to work with the neighborhood, I'll be putting a for sale sign on my house, and maybe one of you would be interested in it. The for sale sign will be going up tomorrow.
Anybody? Paul? Ms. Ross?
No, but after we vote and everything, I do have something I want to say.
All right.
Okay, let me ask a question. Was there anybody that wanted to propose an amendment in any way to this ordinance before y'all vote on it? No? Okay.
Mr. Hamilton?
I'm going to be voting to approve because I believe that the regulations should be more percentage-based by neighborhood. This considering ones on a case-by-case basis means this is going to continue to happen. And the second reason is I don't hear I'm not hearing any legislation or concern about long-term rentals and the problems that those cause. Our code department is not being called at all on short-term rentals. They're being called on long-term rentals. And there are regulations that we could do for short-term rentals that do not bring it up every single case before us. And I think telling these people what they can do with their property when it's a planned unit development. So just wanted to put out there my thoughts on it.
But it being a planned unit development has nothing to do with them. If that's the case, it being a planned unit development would say, no, you cannot do it because planned unit development says this is, whatever it came up as a PUD is the only thing you can use it for.
That's
A residence,
that's the
right?
problem with it.
Yeah.
It says a PUD, guys.
Well, no,
Ms.
I mean,
Ross?
it's a residence.
No, I just want to say something about bringing each one of these up, everyone up one at a time. And the reason of that on the special use is so that the neighbors have a voice.
I can't.
If we send this through, just send it through planning, or just send it through and do an administrative approval on them, the neighbors have no idea what's coming in.
If it was R1 or R2, you would not be able to.
Anyway, I'm just saying, that's why we have the
I know,
special use.
I understand it.
And some cities went to that, the administrative, they went back to the special use because the neighborhoods were irate about this.
Mr. Taylor?
I'm with you, Mayor. I think you guys could get a compromise done if you would sit down and talk to the neighbors and possibly get your legislation passed. I mean, it's just 2 weeks before we back up here. It's-
Understanding, because of the planned unit development, it's the only reason we can be up here to begin with.
I'm not sure what the surrounding area is. If it was R1 or R2, you are correct, but I don't know what the zoning is on your street, other than your PUD.
Yeah, so the PUD allowed us to make application because we wouldn't have been able to.
Or
the
if
other way.
it was C6, and I do believe that that residential neighborhood around there is C6, but I could not tell you for sure on that, because I don't have the zoning map in front of me.
Okay.
So if it was C6, you could also apply. It's not just the PUD, it's that it's not R1 or R2.
Ms. Robinson?
I would like to suggest that they get with the neighborhood and sit down and compromise. Otherwise, my vote is no.
Okay.
Paul?
What do you want to do,
Stacy?
Paul,
I don't know what kind of compromise there's going to be. I mean, we'll do
well,
that.
I want to say
Hang on,
something.
Mr. Harris, go ahead. All right.
We already said we
Hang-
compromise and go
hang on just a
downstairs and
second,
pick
please.
one unit.
I got you, but I need to come, all right, go ahead, Mr. Harris, I'll get right back to
Paul,
you.
in these scenarios, you know, I came here to this council meeting, we do this all the time, and you know, you get the minutes and you go, and then several of us in this room would rather would really rather see you hold this so that we could do some more on-site review ourselves, other than just hearing the words. It's hard to make decisions on something like this. Sadly, I did not go put my eyes on this decision tonight, and I'm just letting you know, in these kind of situations, in 2 weeks.
Okay, so that would be, I'm trying to figure out what date that is. I just want to make sure I was going to be in town to be here.
I will tell you what date that is. It's 9/11.
Are we back in town on 9/11 to come here? Okay. Let's wait.
Don, everybody out there, I'm gonna hold this till it's 9/11. Is that?
We don't have to reapply and renotice and all that, right?
No.
No, really, you're there, what we're asking for as a council is to sit there and say if there's a point that y'all, as owners, and the neighbors in that neighborhood can come together. Is exactly what we're asking. If there's not, you've already said you would go to one, but I'd like to see it back as an amendment, and you can get with Ms. Fields, our city attorney, to get this thing amended right. But I suggest, since it's 9/11, you've got plenty of time. You say you're back in town, Stacy?
And
Hang on a sec.
I'm
Ms. Stacy.
I'm actually out of town on Friday.
But can y'all-
It's going, no, I'm here, but I'm going to be out of town for 10 days. It's one of the reasons why I want a short-term rental.
So my
and we'll have
question
to-
is,
we'll
y'all-
have to. Would y'all like to step outside right after? So we
Well,
can.
we're not gonna do this tonight, but y'all need to sit down with somebody, and I'm gonna hold this tonight, and if we need to come back with an amendment, see what I'm saying? Ms. Ross?
One reason is this on? One reason you have to designate the unit is because the fire marshal has to do an inspection before you get your business license.
Okay.
And if you don't know, which unit it's going in, you can't say which unit it's going in, how's the fire marshal gonna do his inspection? So you will
We
definitely
said
have to
it'll be the downstairs.
Okay.
We're defining it.
make sure that you do have to designate.
Paul, Stacy, I'm gonna take it. You wanna hold it? It's your call right now, if not, I'm about to call it.
We'll hold it for 2 weeks.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. The neighbors in that neighborhood, what they said, they'd like to hold it and sit down with you. I'll hold this, and we'll come back 9/11. Y'all okay with that, everybody? I looked around the room. Got you? I know. I'm just telling you, I think that's the best thing is, I've heard some of you talk, say there's a way you might work it out. Meanwhile, he said give one, we don't know which one. So I'm trying to make this thing where it'll work for all cases. Is that okay with everybody? Everybody? Thank you. I'm going to hold O 2364.
That concludes new business.
Ms. Ross?
Okay, this was mentioned when we were talking about the short-term legislation, when we were working on that, and we knew that Argenta was going to have the most short-term rentals in a dense area. And I've said this before, I mentioned to Councilmember Hamilton when he was opposed to it, is there's nothing says that you can't come back and amend this, and you can have a short-term overlay, I guess what you say, or restricted, just like we have the restricted parking districts in the city. There's certain areas that, you know, they didn't want cars in their yard, and so we did the restricted parking districts. And there's nothing says that we can't have a short-term rental district in Argenta, and you could put the cap on that. Because I agree, 1% for the whole city, you could have all 400 in Argenta if you had the space. But if you did a short-term rental district, you could draw your map out, you could put the legislation in there, you could put a cap on it. So I think that was something, if I were you, I would seriously look at, you know, it's not in my ward, so I'm going to leave that to legal, but if I were you, I would push for that.
Okay. Right now, we have public comments. I have right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to start off with, let me ask you, Hattie and Erica, Ms. Himes, is I'm saying this correctly? Rodney and Joseph Kramer, Mr. Kramer, are all y'all saying this with the same? You're not, Mr. Kramer, you're different, is that what I'm saying? So let me do this. I'm fixing to, so I'm going to hold Mr. Kramer out. So Mr. Torrance, Ms. Himes, Ms. McPherson, and Ms., is it Temple? Am I saying it right? It's okay, y'all are all saying the same thing, public comment. Remember, you have 3 minutes, you know, all of you want to speak. If you do, you got 3 minutes, okay? All right, give me your name.
I came with my handouts. I handed out to everybody. I want you to look at those pictures. You did have a code man did call me, and I did send him. I had some people call him. I've not heard nothing else about it. Now he got my telephone number from y'all, and he called me the next day after we left the city council meeting. I sent him 5 places to go test. Ain't nobody come told me that they even been there. So I had this nice little handout made out for y'all.
And I need you to give me your name for the records.
My name is Hattie Temple. I live at 1726 North Locust, Apartment B, and I need to know who my alderman is up here on the city board.
Okay.
Because I
Me and her.
Okay,
But
I get it.
But here's the deal. The mayor's office is taking this over. He is working with you guys.
Yes. Yes, because the man did say the mayor gave him my telephone number for me to call, and I sent him to 5 places.
Stay with me. We're not going to do anything more than what he is doing.
Okay.
So we're with the mayor, full force. His office is working on it, and we're behind him 1,000%.
I've been out there how many times? Miss Felicia, you come on up here with me if you don't mind. We were out there, last week, I guess. I've been there. Ronnie, how many times you're with Acorn, I know, but how many times I've seen most of y'all up there? 4 or 5 times now, I guess. But so back to it. Where are we on some of the problems they're talking about in this brochure? Have you seen it? Well, I think this is a privately owned complex, Ms. McHenry, if you don't mind. And we were out there, a week and a half ago, possibly, Ms. McHenry, Felicia?
Yeah,
Okay,
Officer
go ahead.
Williams was out there, and he met with some of the tenants. He met with the managers of the complex. Housing Authority was out there also. Some of the issues that are showing up in here, they have been addressed. He sent notice to management, and he gave them a set amount of time to make the repairs to the apartments. That time frame is not up. We did talk to some additional residents, and we advised them, if you got some additional complaints, turn those complaints in to management. If management is not making the repairs that are requested, then contact code enforcement, and we can work with them to get the problem resolved.
I'll get to you. Okay, yes, you're next if you'd like. Identify yourself, please, ma'am.
My name is Erica McPherson, and I am the caregiver of Donna McPherson, stays in apartment 110, 2503 Division. I have a question. By addressing the mold problems, and what do you mean by that? Is that paint over it? Because that's what they do. Y'all were out last week, and Monday, they were spray painting everything and painting over everything that's stained in all the mold spots. So is that the definition of addressing it?
I'm gonna take it. I'll take it from here. Give me a sec.
Yeah, they clean it and they spray it with kills.
Can I ask a question? Ms. McPherson's been out there with Cedric. I know this is the man in the white suit. I've talked to you. We're trying to address all your problems. Meanwhile, I think every time we've been there, we have to go through the management, because we, as a city, it's owned by, who is it owned by? And where are they out, of New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken?
Louisiana, they're in Louisiana, that's where that office comes from. But Your Honor, this is what they do to hinder us. Every 6 months, they change management. So if I filed a fair housing complaint, and within them 6 months, they had got a new manager, that make me have to start all over. They always talk about they're gonna come fix something. Spray painting and painting over mold does not help.
Okay.
If you look in that book, that Cedar Falls thing, it's worse than what it is, because they painted over that. The first time I took a picture of it, in that hallway.
Do y'all get funding from the Housing Authority?
Yes.
So my
And
question
how-
is, hang on a sec, so have you applied to change addresses with the Housing Authority?
They told us that they do not have any money for our choice vouchers, and I want to know where the money went, because I supposed to been able to move at 2 years if I stayed in red, and now they got me in Old Eastgate, and they telling me that they can't give me a voucher because they don't have the money. Well, where the money went?
I don't know. Ms. Ross?
I just want to say something. You're absolutely right about them changing management, because the old Silver City Courts and Eastgate is in Ward 1, and it's like chasing cats trying to find somebody. And they change all the time, and you get a name, and then they're gone. And Mayor, I want you to know, we're not the only city that's having problems.
I
Hot
know
Springs,
that.
if you read the paper.
That's why I
Hot
go out there
Springs.
personally and see these people. Yes, ma'am.
Well, one of the things that happened
And I'm
when
gonna
they
have to, I got your name a while ago. Go ahead.
One of the things that happen when they do change management is that they require that recertification, even though recertification is supposed to be on a yearly basis. In addition to that, everybody's payment and payment histories disappeared. So just a few weeks ago, they did change something in the office, so they issued out nearly to the entire building statement saying that they owe money. My mom got one of $465 past due is what she owed. However, I did take her rent receipts from the first day she moved up in there up into current in order. There was nothing said after that. But that's some of the problems that goes on when they change management, which is usually when people start to complain about the things that's going on in the building.
And I've heard it, and I'm not trying to back off of you. I'm just saying we've heard it. You in the back, sir? Come on. Everybody has their time. I got to keep it down. Go ahead, identify yourself.
Rodney Torrance with East Argenta Neighborhood Association.
Yes, sir.
We've followed every protocol that we were given and contacted every department that we were told to contact by neighborhood service to try to get some code issues taken care of. So we're here today to try to see, can you direct us in the right direction? We've been dealing with trying to get Griffin Carlisle at 1500 East Broadway cleaned up for over a year and a half now, and Carboys at 1222 East Broadway. Griffin, they have construction equipment, broke down 18-wheelers. They have car parts that now we've contacted Environmental Protection Agency because trees are growing up through them. We've been dealing with this for over a year now, and we can't get any results. Code directed us to planning, and planning we can't get a response.
What was the address again?
1500 East Broadway.
Okay, just right down the street here. I got you.
1500 East Broadway. And another thing that we're concerned about between Cypress and Elm, in that neighborhood, we have so much trash and overgrown lots, and every time we call code or someone, it's an issue that we can't get anybody out. It's either delayed or nothing's being done. And we want to know what we need to do because we can't get any services down there.
All right, Ms. McHenry, I know, so do you have this on our records? I guess is where we are. So let me do this. If you'll give me the addresses again, or I'll get them, I'll tell you where we are on every project, okay? I just know I got one the other day, go to 321. I think I had 32 tires down there we picked up. So, again, have you talked to Ms. McHenry? Have you
Yes,
talked?
yes, she's been to our neighborhood.
Yes.
She's the one directed us to
It's been a-
planning about the car services.
Got you.
So she has attended our meetings,
All right.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
and
it's been a couple of months since I've attended
We
the
started
meeting.
that before you came to the meeting,
Right.
trying to get this taken care
So,
of.
yeah, get back, contact my office tomorrow, and we can give you an update
Hang
on
on.
what we have.
Okay.
And we just want to know what we do about all the overgrown lots. Mays has some property in the 1,600.
I just already know about George's piece. We
Yeah.
talked about it, so.
Yeah, that they got exposed trash everywhere. I mean, it's disgusting. And the other thing that we like to address is the homeless population in that area is just taking over. If you go right here at I-30, there's so much trash under that freeway, blankets, everything that, I don't know how the men are able to work if they got to go through that every single day.
You know, our hands as a city council and city is tied about the interstate property. I guess you know that. Now, I will tell you that Patrick Lane, and we have a lady named Shay that comes through there and tries to clean it up. But, I mean, I agree with you. It's get ridiculous. But do me a favor, though. Give me the addresses to Miss Felicia. She's already got them, okay? I will address them with you and tell you where we are. We don't, in fact, right now, I was out at Charter Gardens a good day, and we're mowing those properties. It's the grass 3 feet tall, so I've instructed Ms. McHenry to go ahead and contract it out, get it mowed, even whatever it costs us, get it, and we're gonna take those
That's
people
what
to
we're
court.
looking for, Mayor. We just want it cleaned up,
Yeah.
We don't want our neighborhood to continue to deteriorate.
I agree. Mr. Taylor?
Is this 1500 East Broadway? Mr. Dillard, is this the lot in front of you?
1500 is at the corner of Cornish and East Broadway.
Okay.
The corner of Cornish and East Broadway, 1500.
Ms. Ross?
Next to the tire shop.
Correct, directly across the street from it.
Okay.
You can't miss it. They got broke down 18-wheelers, all kind of heavy equipment, broke down cars, discarded auto parts, stacked all up. It's just a disgrace.
What's the address of the other one, Mr. Dillard?
12.
So this is the one that we had legislation to pull the special use from years ago, and it was before this body, and it failed. If you guys don't remember, there was a car. We approved the car lot. He got in there and was doing everything that he was not supposed to be doing. I posed legislation to take the special use from him, and it failed his body. So I'm happy to bring legislation back to take the special use from him.
Come to the microphone.
Do you want to say anything?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Am I missing someone? Okay? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Bernstein Himes, and I'm a resident also at Cedar Gardens Apartment, building located at 2503 Division Street in North Little Rock. We, as a tenant, has engaged in an agreement of this determination complaint against the management and company having responsibilities and obligation to the above-named apartment building. We have more than just the mold to be concerned about. We have great concerns over there in that building. Even as we speak, we have loose dogs. We have kids in the building that's at risk. We have fighting, the kids playing in the driveway. There's no playground in that area, no play structure. We have no security, so it's very dangerous. We have just open house. People come in there all time of night. There was a fight last night. I took pictures of the blood in my hallway. Somebody was stabbed. So this is going on daily. This has been going on for 3 years. I've been there 3 years. I walked door to door yesterday and Friday. That's Sunday and Friday, to get the resident to sign a petition to get these issues resolved. They have not been resolved. Matter of fact, they have gotten worse.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So you said there was a stabbing there, right?
Yes, and it
So
should
my
have been
question is,
reported.
did y'all turn the person in that you knew stabbed somebody?
We turn in everything. I have videos text message, you name it, I have it. Just not to tell y'all, I have the proof. Drug trafficking, changing hands with money, I went to work. I was like an investigation. I've turned this in to the owners, been corresponding with one of the owners, management all the time to no avail. Nothing is being done. We is at risk.
So did you
Not
turn
only
it into
with-
the police?
We call, I got police
I'm just
reports here.
asking you, you have, so okay.
Plenty.
I got you. All right.
Plenty.
All right, thank you.
And we just can't get nothing done.
I understand, I understand.
It's a disaster waiting to happen.
All right. All right, and I think I have one other person's name on here, Mr. Kramer? Mr. Kramer?
Rehab.
Yes, sir. Your name?
Yosef Kramer.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I'm a rabbi in the community. I work with the community at large. And about a year ago, I decided to get myself a little bit into real estate, just to help cover the bills for my volunteer work that I do in the community. I had a property manager that was guiding me at the time. I bought it's one parcel on Crockett, 211, 213, 219, and another one, I think it's 315 Crockett down the street. One house was condemned. I hired my property manager to take care and do the work for, I don't know why, but he only finished right before the 6-month time frame. I forgot what it's called to do work on the house. And when the work was over, I called the assistant attorney, Rick, and I said, okay, I'm done. I wanted to get the money from the escrow back. She says, I never got any permits done. So I said, I didn't know. So I thought my property manager at the time was taking care of it. For whatever reason, it wasn't. I have now a new property manager that helps me with the properties. My request to the city council is for an extension to be able to get the permits and the inspections, get everything that's need to be done. I was lack of knowledge. I have other guidance now, people that are guiding me. I'm willing to follow the steps that I need to follow. I just never.
All right, I got what you're saying. You need more time to get your permits and follow through what you should have been doing all along. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Correct.
All right, let's do this. I understand what you're saying. Ms. Fields?
I'm not sure on the exact timeframes on this, when the rehab agreement expired, but as you all know, our office does not do extensions anymore, and Mr. Kramer was told to find a council member that would sponsor it. And I don't know, Felicia, but you can't rehab a property if you don't have permits, because then you can't get a certificate of occupancy. And I'm sorry about your property manager, but you were still the responsible owner of the property.
Felicia?
He entered into the rehab agreement February the 13th of this year.
Okay.
So his 6 months is now August. For the original rehab agreement, right? So
yes.
He's in his 6th month.
Correct.
Yes.
And so what you're saying is that, excuse me, your prior property manager had work done without the permits,
That's what I found out when it.
finished the work, and now you're just out there because they didn't get the permits, but you now have a new property manager.
Correct.
And so you're asking for an extension so that we can come in and review the work and all that's done, so you can get approved. So
Correct.
that's what you're asking.
Correct.
So what does he need to do to get that
Get a
done?
sponsor.
He needs a sponsor
sponsor.
to.
I'll sponsor it.
You'll
So we
sponsor
move
it.
We'll do
Okay.
it. We'll take care of it.
Okay, we'll take care of it then. You have a sponsor, and
Thank you
we'll,
very
and
much.
we'll take care of an extension. And Rick or myself will be in touch with you to find out details about the amount of time you need and what needs to be done. Because I was aware that you existed and that there was a situation, but I don't know the details. But you've got 2 sponsors, so we'll get it done.
I appreciate you. Oh, she has a question.
I have a question. So is the work already completed?
To my knowledge, yes. However, I'm willing to have the property inspected and anything that needs to be done to get it done.
So, if there was any electrical or plumbing work done, sometimes that is done where it's not visible. You know, we have inspections on rehabs that, you know, just under the building permit process at certain points during the construction, and so that could be an issue.
Well, here's the issue. You've got two sponsors that are going to sponsor this for you. At any time, we cannot approve anything with having permits and every inspection. We're not going to put anybody in danger, and you don't want to either. So let's do this. Come forward, get your sponsors, and we'll get the thing ready to go for you. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, what do I do now?
You're going to call Mr. Taylor or Miss Robinson here and ask for a sponsor, and then you're going to get your permits and get in line. We cannot going to do anything that's going to put anybody in danger. Mr. Taylor?
We're going to sponsor it, call planning.
Right.
Or call city attorney's office.
Call city attorney, and we'll coordinate with code and planning, okay?
Thank you very much.
Right now, real fast, I'm going to call up, let's see, I'm not calling it, I'm going to say Tuesday, September 5th is Bring It On balcony performance at Argentina Community Theater. Thursday, the 14th, Dearborn Theater at the Act with Sharon Heffman Performing Arts. It's catered by Brave New Restaurant. Friday, September 15th, is, I know Anna's gone, but Let Us Grow is out there. I'll be getting in touch with all y'all on that. Thursday, October 12th, North Rock Chamber of Business After Hours. Thursday, October 17th, which I'll get back to, the Celebrity Gala at the Act. And other than that, I'll get back with you after the other. So, Garbage will run, no, not next Monday, it will not run. Will be 1 day delayed. Thank you. Yes. Ms. Ross?
I just want to say one thing. We get, I mean, we all do, get questions on trash on the interstate, on the exit ramps, on the entrance ramps, and, you know, that's, the gentleman was talking about under the bridge, they've got all this. On the State Highway Department, if everyone would please start calling the State Highway Maintenance, you know, getting on Facebook and complaining about it, but the number is 501-569-2266, and that's the district number for our state maintenance. I call them all the time, and if more people would call, and they have come out, when, you know, especially around McCain and Warden Road. So if everyone would start calling, it sure would help.
All right,
So
guys.
moved.
So move.
Second?
Second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor? Yes. Robinson?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.